Good now. We in.
I'm caught in a weird state of thought right now.
Yeah.
Because I just said the words "oil up the Batmobile."
Yeah.
Just randomly because I was trying to think of random words, right? And then I was like, does Bruce Wayne just do all of the maintenance on all of his
Alfred does
vehicles? So Alfred needs to know how to change the oil in the Batmobile.
Absolutely.
As well as restock his utility belt.
For sure.
As well as...
Batman might do that part.
Yeah?
Batman might handle the utility belt.
Okay.
His stuff, though, Alfred definitely works on that stuff.
Right. As well as having, like, technical knowledge of random
things,
yeah,
dude, of course. Of course.
And he had to pick up all that shit when he was, like, 70?
Listen, dude, he was a British spy.
He
knows
was.
Stuff.
Okay.
Or he was in the British Army or something.
Okay, cool.
Listen, there's a billboard outside our window for an Alfred show, and it freaks me out that it exists, and I don't understand the point of it. Yeah. But yeah, he was a he apparently is interesting enough to get his own TV show. Why is that happening?
Why is there an Alfred? So you're not interested?
It's just like, I'd rather just have a good Batman show.
Than you're weirdly like you have weird reservations about to have like spin-offs of your beloved.
Sometimes I'm really excited about them. It's just like I don't understand. Like
you would love a Nightwing show, obviously.
Yeah, that's like my dream.
Uh-huh.
But like, so Krypton's a good example, right? Like Krypton is just a weird. What's the point idea to me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do I care what Superman's fucking granddad did when I know in the end it won't matter because the planet's gonna blow up?
You're also like you're not interested in Venom.
What do you mean I'm not interested in Venom?
I feel like you're very...
Hold on. The character Venom?
I'm saying that like when people are like, oh, we're going to make a Venom movie.
It's just a weird idea. Why are you making a Venom movie? Why aren't you making a Spider-Man movie with Venom in it? That's what I want to see.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and then after that, you can maybe make a Venom movie.
If it's a spin-off or like, some like kind of like tertiary character that it's just their movie, like sometimes you're not about it.
Part of the reason for that is because Venom like gave me reason to think I was right about not wanting it.
It just hasn't been done right.
Shots fired.
It hasn't been done right.
The movie. Yeah. All right. Enough of this. Listen, we've got a lot to get to. You know why? Because like the first week of NBA free agency is a frenzy in basketball, Comic-Con week is batshit nuts for the film and television world. And that's what this week was. Comic-Con week. So we got a bunch of announcements, a bunch of trailers. I probably didn't even catch all of it. I kept up as well as I could with all the stuff. Where do you want to start? Do you want to just go over the Marvel stuff, or do you want to do the other stuff?
Yeah, let's just start with all the Marvel stuff.
Okay, so Marvel
take at least 4 hours.
Marvel, who wasn't at Comic-Con last year, they were like, we don't even need to go to Comic-Con, you bitches. Like,
why would we be at Comic-Con? It would make zero sense.
We own the world. We're going to not go to Comic-Con, and then we're going to release the highest grossing film of all time, which they just broke yesterday.
They broke their own record?
No, they broke Avatar.
They broke
Avengers Endgame past Avatar is the highest grossing film of all time. Good work, Avengers Endgame. People can finally stop complaining that the highest grossing film of all time isn't that good to a lot of people. I'm not saying it's fun. I like Avatar. It's cool. It's a fun movie. Visually stunning. Mm-hmm. One of the only movies I've ever seen in 3D on purpose. Maybe the only one. 3D makes me feel icky, so I avoid it. But like, I wanted to experience that.
Like icky, like sick, not like icky, like you're betraying your own, like in some sense of purity.
I don't know, man. Maybe deep down, I don't know. But yeah, it makes me feel sick. Anyway, okay. So, Marvel. There's a bunch of shit here. Marvel released their Phase 4 plan. Their post spoilers. If you don't know now, fuck off. Their post Iron Man, Captain America plans for the world. Tony's dead. Steve is old as shit. Mm-hmm. What are we going to do? What's going to happen? And I think perhaps the most interesting part is being slightly overlooked to me. And that is that when you look at their little schedule, right? They've got their cool graphic with all their stuff. they are going heavy on Disney Plus stuff as part of their scheduling. And I think that's really interesting and cool. And the craziest part is it's not even all on here yet. They announced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things yesterday with release dates. Then Kevin Feige, at the very end, I watched this like a 2-minute video of like them ending their Hall H presentation. And Kevin Feige's like, man, hasn't this been awesome, blah, 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 blah. And we haven't even had a chance to talk about Black Panther 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Captain Marvel 2. And all these people are going crazy and they're cheering. And then he goes, I haven't even mentioned the Fantastic Four. And people are like, yeah! And then he was like, and you know what? I didn't even have the time to talk about mutants. And people lost their shit. They just started screaming in the hall, going crazy. And then he was like, but you know what? I have one more fun announcement before I leave. And he was like, ladies and gentlemen, 2-time Academy Award winner, Mahershala Ali. And the homie walked out looking good, being the coolest dude in the world. And then he was like, I believe you have a hat of your own. Because like all the people were like wearing hats with their movie logos on them.
Right.
I think the Black Widow cast had all just taken a picture like that. And Mahershala just pulls out a hat, puts it on, and it just says Blade. And they put up this dope graphic on the screen.
Nice.
And everyone in this fucking hall just went, they erupted. They went completely bonkers.
Yeah.
Because this was the only thing that hadn't been in some way rumored. Everything else has been rumored or talked about, and they were just confirming things and putting an order to them and giving them cool logos. This one, no one knew anything about it. A fucking Blade movie starring Mahershala Ali. Give it to me.
This is the thing that I'm probably the most excited about.
Give it to me.
So, like,
the Daywalker, bitch.
What is your how interested were you in the Blade movies growing up?
I thought they were cool.
You thought they were cool?
I feel like so you were allowed to watch things, more on the R-rated side, more often and earlier than I was. And I feel
my parents fucked me right up.
Yeah. I feel like the Blade movies were like a little bit too early for me to be allowed to watch them when they came out. So I discovered them a little later. And by then, they're cheesy and goofy, and the CG does not hold up. It does. I saw a GIF today.
So bad.
Saw a GIF today of a scene where when Blade wakes up, apparently there was a scene where Wesley Snipes refused to open his eyes for the scene for some reason. And they had to CG his eyes onto him, and it looks completely awful.
What?
I'll try to find it. Talk about Blade.
Okay, so I really enjoy Blade. I've seen Blade 1 way more than I've seen the sequels. I think if you look at like the critics' consensus, like a majority of people would say that Blade 2 is the best. That's the one that was actually directed by Guillermo del Toro. I haven't seen it in my adult life. I remember watching it as a kid and being like, this is weird and kind of creepy because like Guillermo like sort of did his normal, like, I'm gonna have a lot of weird, freaky, white looking vampires. Like, so he kind of like subverted it a little bit. And it's very much del Toro'd in a way. And I remember I enjoyed 3 a lot because of what the fuck? I don't remember that at all. It's really bad.
Why was Wesley Snipes just like, I'm not going to open my eyes?
Yeah, he said, fuck
hey,
it.
you have to wake up in this scene. I don't care.
Yeah. No. But anyways, I still really fucking enjoyed Blade. Mm-hmm. There's like specific like, weird moments of Blade 1 that like stick in my head. I remember in the beginning of the movie, like when he's driving in his fucking whatever it is, his 68 Cuda or whatever it is. And like they're just showing the headlights and it's like a really low angle and there's like this really creepy music flowing through it. I was like, this is so fucking cool.
Yeah, the aesthetics of Blade are very cool.
The fucking,
also just the idea is so fucking cool.
When he's
a vampire who hunts vampires. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's fucking dope.
And he uses swords.
Yeah. But the blood fucking nightclub scene where he goes in and fucking kills all the vampires and shit. So many. He's just such a cool character. Mm-hmm. He's so interesting. So many like really cool characters in the Blade universe. Him, Whistler. I really enjoyed the villain in that movie, Stephen Dorff as well. Stephen Dorff,
who is fantastic in season 3 of True Detective.
Yes,
with Mahershala Ali.
Right.
What do you know? Connections, baby.
But yeah, and I've always been excited to see if they were going to redo Blade at some point. I'm really excited.
So
that they're making a Blade. B, for the casting.
It's perfect.
Why
it's incredible.
not?
It's
Why
incredible. It's incredible. He's like one of the best working actors in the world right now. Mahershala Ali is.
Right.
He's like incredible.
Yeah.
And I never saw the Alita movie, Alita Battle Angel, but remember the trailers?
Yes.
He's kind of got that look in that trailer of what Blade would look like. A little bit. He wears the weird sunglasses. He's wearing the dark clothes. He's a little bit menacing. He'll easily be able to pull it off for sure.
Now,
did you hear about the way this happened? Apparently,
no.
I don't know how true any of this is, but I've seen the rumor going around that apparently, after Mahershala won his Oscar last year, he called up Kevin Feige and he was like, "Hey, I want to be Blade."
Fuck yes.
And Feige probably
yes.
just said that. Fuck yes. End of phone call. We'll make it happen. Perfect.
Well, I wasn't even really thinking about that, but yeah, why not?
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. The death of the Marvel Netflix shows has been, a bit of a travesty. The way that they never seemed to incorporate them really into the universe, and there was never this connectivity. And as the peaks of those shows, I mean, Daredevil's one of my favorite shows ever, and the peaks of the other shows are great. And then, sadly, because Netflix, for financial reasons, they canceled them all. This almost seems like a burying of them because Mahershala was in Luke Cage and played probably, I would say, I'd have to step back and either him or David Tennant probably is the best villain in any of those shows. His portrayal of Cottonmouth is amazing in that show.
Yeah.
And the show really goes off the rails after his character kicks the bucket. So like them recasting him in a movie role almost feels like sort of putting them behind them. But I don't think that's necessarily a guaranteed thing, but it feels that way a little bit.
Mm-hmm. What is like the thing that what's the shoe that you're waiting to drop as far as the Blade movie is concerned that would get you the most hype?
Because I'm already insanely hype.
I'm very insanely hype. But there's one piece of information that I would really like to know.
Who's going to play? No, that's
the rating. Is this going to be R-rated?
Oh. Okay. Let's think about it. Let's hash this out.
Mm-hmm.
Blade should be R-rated. First of all, it should be R-rated. The original Blade trilogy was R-rated, but it's a Marvel movie, an MCU movie. But Disney just bought all of Fox, which includes Deadpool, and I believe there's plans to make a third Deadpool. I think it. Oh man, it should be.
It should be.
It should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be if they made the choice to make Blade rated R. I would be very excited about the future of other movies as well. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Ooh, because this. So I really want to see Deadpool in a non-rated R movie because it'd be funny. You know what I mean? Ryan Reynolds having to jump around. Yeah, censoring himself. Mm-hmm. It could be very fun. Putting him in like a Spider-Man movie or something could be ridiculous. Yeah. Blade, though, not as fun if it's not rated R. I hadn't thought about that. I hope it is. We'll see. Mm-hmm. We'll see. I will definitely not make a definitive yes, even though I think it should be. It is a Disney movie at the end of the day, so I don't know if they'll do it. We'll see. Ooh.
I really hope so.
Yeah.
I really fucking hope so.
All right, let's talk about some of these other... So these Marvel announcements came... I'll go through them in the order they're coming out, because this has been the thing that is like the future of the MCU has been in question of like, what's the order of things that are going to happen, right? So
within the world, like
what order are these movies and stuff going to come out in?
Because we will in real world,
yes,
our world,
Spider-Man Far From Home
within the MCU.
Spider-Man Far From Home was the last one that they had any date on, and we just didn't know what was happening now. So now, interestingly, we don't have another MCU installment until May of 2020. It's almost a whole year. It's I think 10 months after Spider-Man Far From Home. They're taking a long break, which is interesting. And that will be the Black Widow movie, which people will argue should have happened a long time ago, but is finally getting made. And obviously, because of things that happen in Endgame, is a little bit, what's the timeline of it going to be? And they said, I think it's going to be working on like 2 It's going to be part like Origin-esque and part Budapest.
Okay.
Her and Hawkeye always talking about what happened in Budapest, which is interesting. The cast they brought on stage, obviously Scarlett Johansson, America's dad, David Harbour, who I'm going to guess is a villain. It just seems like it's going to happen to me.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a villain. I think he might be like a Russian dude who trained her.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like the vibe I get. The part that makes me super excited, who I think is going to be like the rival of the movie. Pew pew. Get on the pew pew train. Get on the pew pew train. Ooh. Or, which would be even cooler in my mind, if she became like the next Black Widow, that'd be fucking hype.
Right.
That would make me very excited. Because I can't remember the character's name, but there are other iterations of Black Widow that aren't Romanoff. But yeah, Florence Pugh, Rachel Weisz is in it. She could also be a villain. She could pull that. Like we saw freaking, what was that movie called with her and Emma Stone and
the super weird period piece.
Yeah, that one. A bunch of Oscar nominations. Hold on, I can literally go look at her IMDb.
It's
the Favorite.
The Favorite, yeah.
She is like fucked up and crazy and mean in that movie. Like she can pull off villain. The other ones that this dude named O.T. Fegbenley, who I don't know. He's in The Handmaid's Tale. I don't know if you recognize him. He was brought out on stage.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't recognize him either. And obviously we haven't seen The Handmaid's Tale, so. And then some dude named Ray Winstone, who looks
sounds really familiar.
Looks vaguely familiar. He was in The Departed. He was in Beowulf. This guy.
Yep.
So yeah, there's pretty good fleshed out cast there for Black Widow, an interesting idea for the story, and it's going to be the first one. It's going to be the next one we get, which is kind of interesting. David Harbour, dude. Be in everything. Be in everything, my boy.
Yeah, I saw that David Harbour and Florence Pugh were in it, and I was like, ooh, those are interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting casting.
Mm-hmm. After that, it just says fall 2020. We get our first Disney Plus show, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, starring Anthony Mackie, obviously, and Sebastian Stan. But the really exciting part, Daniel motherfucking Bruhl is back.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. In my opinion, one of the best. I think Killmonger's the best MCU movie villain, but Daniel Bruhl's Zemo is up there in best villains to me from Civil War.
I liked him a lot.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's safe. I mean, if you look at the logo, it's got the Captain America shield on it. I think it's safe to assume the show is going to be about Sam Wilson picking up that mantle of Captain America and, you know, how that happens. After that is, what's the date here? November 2020. Isn't November in fall?
Yeah.
It's just, one says fall 2020 and one says November 2020. Kind of weird. Anyway, the Eternals.
They're just being more specific. How much do you know about...
Dude, the Eternals to me, remember when they announced Guardians of the Galaxy and everyone was like, this is a big risk that Marvel's taking? To me, if MCU, the only reason the MCU can make an Eternals movie is because of their track record. Because of the success of Guardians. Like, I don't know, like, I love comics, and I know a lot about the source material of these movies. I don't know jack about the Eternals. They're fucking weird.
I don't know anything.
They're weird. They're the children of the Celestials, which they've been mentioned and shown briefly throughout the movies. It's a weird story, but the cast, baby.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you're going to make a super,
cast, baby.
If you're going to make a super weird fucking out there thing, you know, with the source material, fucking might as well have this cast, right?
Yeah, so they've tabbed someone named Chloe Zhao to direct it, and her IMDb has something called The Rider and Songs My Brothers Taught Me as her top two known for things. It seems to be one of those, so MCU can go one of two ways, right? They either pick somebody like James Gunn, who is a very, like, or Taika Waititi, where you know what they're going to be making. They're going to have their own tone and style. Or they get somebody kind of like the Russo brothers. They get them from TV or from smaller stuff who they empower to then mold their vision of what needs to happen, right? Mm-hmm. This seems to be more the latter than the former. She doesn't have a lot of history of stuff. This cast, though, Angelina Jolie, wild. My fucking boy, the bodyguard himself, the young wolf, Rob Stark, Richard Madden. That boy. Oh, my God. I'm so excited. Kumail Nanjiani,
Yeah.
Salma Hayek, that boy Brian Tyree Henry
From Atlanta, right?
from Atlanta, yes, Atlanta, and he's been working like crazy.
He's been doing all that
Spider-Verse,
yeah.
Right. Dong Suk Ma, I might have fucking butchered that, but he looks kind of familiar. He was in Train to Busan. Do you recognize this guy? Yeah, I'm not.
Your phone's kind of cracked, so it's
That's
also
very cracked. The girl, apparently this character sprite is pretty important. It's a little girl. Her name is Leah McHugh. She was in something called The Lodge and some other stuff. We'll see if she can, hang with the level of child acting in today's world, like our boy Jacob Tremblay. All right, we'll see. And then Lauren Ridloff, who I don't recognize either. You know it's not good when your top filmography known for is a movie that's not out yet. And it's the one that we're talking about right now. I mean, not that it's not good. You're getting your break, but like you don't know a lot about her. That being said, I'll read you the synopsis. The saga of the Eternals, a race of immortal beings who lived on Earth and shaped its history and civilizations. Okay. We'll see what happened. Like, this feels to me like very much whatever the Infinity Stones are of Phase 4 or 5, 6, however long it goes. I mean, the Infinity Stones went Phase 1 through 3. I would not be surprised to see the next long-term saga last another 3 phases or whatever. I would not be surprised if we really start getting the beginnings of it from this movie.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, that cast, it's fun. Fucking Richard Madden. Make another season of Bodyguard, dude. Do it. Show's so fucking good. After that, February 12th, 2021, 3 days after my birthday, I will be 28? I will have just turned 28, I think. Is that how old I will? Yeah, 28. That's weird.
Wait, what?
2021, dude.
Oh, in 2021.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
February 12th, 2021. I will have just turned 28. And this movie called Shang-Chi. Now, we already talked about this. We're like, this is a fun idea, right? Cool. Make a Kung Fu movie, Kung Fu Marvel movie. Cool character. Kung Fu and the Legend of the 10 motherfucking Rings, dude.
I don't know what that is.
Bruh. The Mandarin.
Ah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Classically a Marvel villain. Classically an Iron Man villain. The Mandarin, who we got tricked, was Ben Kingsley in Iron Man 3. Well, if you remember correctly, in Iron Man 1, there are hints about the 10 rings, which is the Mandarin's like fucking squad or some shit. And now they're going to finally introduce him into the MCU, which is super hype. The Mandarin is like, he literally wears 10 magical rings and they all do something different. He's super cool. They announced Simu Liu is playing Shang-Chi. I don't know him.
He's a Toronto native. I know
Yeah,
that.
he's Canadian. He looks Asian, which,
I would hope so.
good job. You didn't fuck it up. You casted an Asian dude. He was in the Taken TV show, which, why does that show exist? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, I saw a tweet from him that somebody that I follow retweeted, and it was literally like an old tweet. I think from when they said they were going to make Shang-Chi, and he said like, hey, Marvel, hit me up. And then he like answered his own tweet, and he was like, thanks for hitting me up. And this dude named Tony Chiu Wai Lung. I feel bad about probably murdering these names, but this dude, again, I don't really know the stuff he's from. He was born in Hong Kong. But he's going to be playing the Mandarin. But Awkwafina is going to be in it, which is interesting.
Nice.
She's blowing up.
Nice.
Blowing up. She's going to be in everything. I don't know enough about Shang-Chi and the history of the character to know like who Awkwafina might be playing and stuff like that, but I'm super hype about introducing Mandarin into the MCU. The next one they give us is spring 2021. The most poorly titled thing in the entire announcement list, WandaVision. Such a bad title. I want to see the show. I think that Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany's chemistry is underrated in these movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have a really good connection.
Definitely not talk about.
Yeah.
People don't like really address it enough. Like
no. But yeah. Did they not announce another cast member yesterday? I don't think they did. Just the two of them so far. Who knows what that show's going to be about? Bringing him back? Here's the thing. The Scarlet Witch is insanely powerful. So they can do like crazy shit with her if they want to. They've kind of like...
Maybe the entire show is just her, struggling with getting prescription glasses.
Maybe. Yeah. Possibly. Because bad vision. WandaVision. It feels like so far they haven't unleashed Scarlet Witch to her full potential. Like there's the scene in Endgame where she like fucks up Thanos for a hot second, but like for the most part, she's just like really strong, but she's not like a demigod. And in the comics, she's literally created and destroyed like entire swaths of people. Like she eliminated mutant kind at one point in the comics. She's insanely powerful. So it's going to be interesting to see how they sort of go further with her character. After that, we've got May 7th, 2021. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Fun title. Mm-hmm. Fun title. Obviously, returning Benedict Cumberbatch.
Right.
Elizabeth Olsen will also be in this movie. So she'll be in the show and then in this back to back, which is kind of interesting. Who else is on here? Oh, I think that's it. I'm going to guess Chiwetel Ejiofor is going to be back. Mm-hmm. But it's not confirmed yet, I guess. And who knows what the plot of this movie is going to be.
Well, did you hear what apparently they said about it?
No,
they said this is going to be the first horror movie that Marvel's going to do.
Okay, interesting.
I wonder what they mean by that.
They said similar things about the last Doctor Strange because Scott Derrickson's the director. And it's not a horror movie at all. It's fucking visually awesome. Like the way the magic works and stuff is super cool, but it's not a horror movie. Scott Derrickson is returning. I love the idea of doing like a horror Doctor Strange movie. That's a really cool idea.
What did Scott Derrickson do?
Which is one of the fucking... Hold on.
Was it like one of those tentpole horror movies?
Yeah.
Like Conjuring or something?
It might be Conjuring. It's one of them. Hold on. Scott Derrickson. Sinister.
I actually really like
The
Sinister.
Day the Earth Stood Still. The Exorcism. Sinister 2. He's done a lot of horror movies.
I like the Sinister movie. I don't think I've seen the second one, but I like the first one a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. So I didn't hear that. That's interesting. I wonder how scary it'll actually be. Then, spring 2021, the weirdly designed logo of Loki. The logo is looking weird.
Yeah, I didn't like some of the graphics were kind of weird. I didn't like the graphic that I saw for Blade either.
I mean, it just says Blade, but like the letters are
but it just looks kind of, I don't know, like amateur. It doesn't look that very cool.
The Loki one is weird. Every letter is a different graphic. And when I first saw
it in a different font.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I was like, that looks weird, but what is the... Like, do each of the... Are there clues? Like, are people going to start doing, like, hour-long YouTube videos diving into what each letter means? You know what I mean? All we know is that Tom Hiddleston's in it. But you know what? Tom Hiddleston's great as Loki. Mm-hmm. So cool. That'll be a show on Disney+. Then we've got summer of 2021, the MCU's first animated film. Which it's completely insane to me that they have enough content that they can pull this off. Marvel Studios' What If.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what Marvel What If is?
Yes.
Tell the people.
So like it's basically like completely like non-canon, like one-shot comics that are just completely separate from the actual Marvel universe that are just like completely speculative things like what if fucking the Hulk got Mjolnir or something, like something like random like that.
Weird stuff.
Yeah.
An example of something that would have fallen into a what if comic is like Superman Red Sun. Mm-hmm. That would be a what if style story. Right. What if Superman landed in Nazi Germany or whatever? Yeah. They might do a similar one with Captain America. What if Captain America? I don't know. But the cool thing about it, I guess it's going to be like narrated by the Watcher, which is kind of cool. Jeffrey Wright is going to be voicing him. You know who that is?
Jeffrey Wright? Is that the dude from Westworld?
Yes. Weird that neither of us have seen Westworld. And that's the one that I would bring up. He was in Shaft, dude. I did not know that.
One of the older versions of Shaft?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
that guy. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I forgot he was in Hunger Games. the Manchurian Candidate.
He's one of those guys.
He's just been in a bunch of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You definitely recognize his face.
But yeah, he's going to be voicing the Watcher. And I just think that's it's so crazy to me that they have enough stuff that they can make What If. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Super cool. And I like that it's going to be animated. And they're going to bring back, like, if they want to do What If Thor did something, Chris Hemsworth's going to voice him. Mm-hmm. They're going to bring back the cat. I wonder if they're going to be able to get like Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans.
True. For
this kind of stuff. Because that would be really cool. They were like, what if Iron Man
had a vagina?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Weird one. And they get Robert Downey Jr. for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be weird. The next one. Sleeper for the one I might be the most excited for, except the last one we're going to talk about. But this is up there. Hawkeye TV show. So excited.
For audio listeners, he didn't say hot guy TV
Hawkeye,
show.
baby.
Obviously, he'd be really excited about that. We would be really excited about that. But Hawkeye.
Listen, Jeremy Renner's a good-looking dude.
He's still apparently he's like a genius too.
Jeremy Renner?
Yeah,
he's a great singer.
What's a really high IQ? Like 180?
He's
got a really high IQ.
I don't know what a high IQ is. I don't know how the number system works. Why can't it be simple? Why can't it just be 0 to 100?
I don't know, man.
How does it work? I don't know.
Do you know what IQ stands for?
Intelligence quantifier?
Close.
Quality
Quotient.
I was close.
Yeah.
It's cool. Hawkeye show, which will be about Hawkeye, and will include Kate Bishop, which is super hype. Now, weirdly, there was the rumor that what's her name? Kate Bishop is the other Hawkeye. She's like Hawkeye's sidekick, but like her whole shtick is that she's like, no, I'm Hawkeye, and he's like, no, I'm Hawkeye, and she's like, no, I'm Hawkeye. It's fun. If you want to have any idea of what we might, I don't know, obviously I don't know if this is what it's going to be, but the best thing that I can give you an idea of what this show might be like is if you check out Matt Fraction's run of Hawkeye, which is incredibly good. I would highly recommend reading it. It's from like 3 or 4 years ago, I think. And it incorporates both Kate Bishop and Clint Barton, and it's just Pizza Dog is in it. There's an entire issue from just Pizza Dog's perspective. It's so good.
Is Kate Bishop the name of the character?
Yes,
right.
The other Hawkeye.
Has that been casted already?
That's what was interesting about this. They didn't confirm a casting, even though it's been rumored that the girl
from Love, Simon.
Yes, the girl from Love, Simon, and that TV show 13 Reasons Why was going to be playing her. So I don't know if maybe that's not happening or if they're just not announcing it yet or what. That has been her name is Catherine Langford. So there's no confirmation on who's playing Kate, but I am super excited for that show. The last thing they announced, which is both the thing I'm most excited for and the best title I've ever seen for a superhero movie, Thor: Love and Thunder. What a name. What a name of a movie. Come on now. That's so good. We're getting back Taika Waititi. He back.
Right.
He was going to make what was it? Hold on. He was making a live action version of an anime, which for some reason is no longer, where are you? I can't remember what it was. What is like Chronicle? Chronicle, the stuff. What's the thing people always say Chronicle is like?
What do you mean?
Carrie meets
Akira?
Akira. He was making a live action Akira movie. And for whatever reason, it got delayed or fucking, I don't know. But now he's making this. There were things that he might not be making it, but they're like, no, he's making it. The only casting they announced, obviously Chris Hemsworth, Thor. The return of Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, and the hypest shit, the return of Natalie Portman. Fuck you, motherfucker. I'm Natalie Portman. And she's playing Thor.
How does that happens in the comic book?
This is a pretty recent thing from the comics. Maybe happened 3 years ago, maybe 4, where while on the moon, Nick Fury whispered something into Thor's ear that made him unworthy of wielding Mjolnir.
What?
Yeah, dude, he said some crazy shit to him. He told him some fucking
you
secret.
A bitch.
Yeah, dude, he basically called him a bitch. And Thor lost the ability to wield Mjolnir.
Your knee's too long.
And then a new Thor showed up, and it was a lady. She was Lady Thor, and she was whooping people's asses and shit. She was super cool. And it turned out to be Jane Foster, dying from cancer.
Okay.
But also being Thor. So we are getting back Natalie. Dude, like, I was surprised when Natalie Portman showed up in Endgame, because there was all the rumors of, like, how much she, like, hated being on the movies and bloody, 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 and there was, like, this rift, but they must have showed her the money. Like, I feel like they called her up, and they were like, Natalie, which is, like, Kevin Feige made the call, right? He's like, boop, 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 boop. Hey, Natalie. And she was like, hi, Kevin. He was like, listen, I just wanted to really thank you for that cameo you did in Endgame. I just really appreciate you, putting the past behind, and just, it worked really well in the movie, and I just really want to say thank you. And she was like, all right, it's cool, Kevin. All right, listen, I've got a proposition, Kevin. I'm busy. Listen, just, Natalie, do you want to be Thor? And she's like, what? Do you want to be Thor? No, I told you before, I don't want to be in any more Thor movies. I just, I don't want to be relegated to being, the love interest. No, Natalie, you're not understanding me. Do you want to be Thor? And then she was like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. How hype are you for that?
I like the fact that Waititi's coming back. It's such a bizarre idea. Like, I don't know, like, how they would do that. Like, what is the?
Dude, are they gonna make Chris Hemsworth unworthy?
Right.
That would be insane. Be fun. Also,
but the title is so bizarre.
It's so good. Yeah. Love and Thunder. It's so fun. The logo's crazy cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it is the one I'm most excited out of everything. Especially like
if
after
Blade gets an R rating, then that might.
Yeah.
Blade gets an R rating.
After the way that Waititi just completely changed the Thor movies, I'm just so excited for him to do another one. I saw someone that was like, I bet you Natalie Portman watched Thor Ragnarok and was like, why couldn't I have been in that Thor movie?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that
come on.
So much more fun.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. But it's the timing there is kind of interesting, because are they going to make that movie before they make Guardians 3? That would be weird. Thor got on the ship with them. I feel like that timeline is not complete yet. I feel like they're going to insert the ones we mentioned, Guardians 3, Black Panther 2, and Captain Marvel 2 in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are going to be added into that timeline. But that's all of the Marvel stuff. And we've been talking for 40 minutes. And that's just Marvel.
Are they going to completely recast Fantastic Four, you think?
Yeah. Which is...
Because that's like another one. It's like, like we were talking about Power Rangers last week.
Yeah.
Dude,
that cast was good in that movie.
If you just brought back that same cast.
I believe that Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan, Kate Mara, and Jamie Bell could make a good Fantastic Four movie. Mm-hmm. They're not the problem. Mm-hmm. They were not the problem with that movie. The problem is you can't use Michael B. Jordan now.
He's too big?
No, he's Killmonger.
Oh, yeah, duh.
He's an iconic MCU character now. You can't... And, like, there's rumors that, like, I've heard people that are like, yo, he's not dead. They're going to bring Killmonger. And, they might. If they were like, Shuri, like, saved him or something and he's alive, I wouldn't be mad about it. I'd see more Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger. It'd be awesome. But it seems like he's dead. But it'd be kind of weird if they were like, all right, now we're just going to have you be the Human Torch. It'd be a little weird. But, yeah. That's the other one. Like, when the MCU gets their hands on the X-Men, I'm going to, and they start making casting announcements and stuff, I'm going to start freaking out. Because I love that shit. And I'm super excited to see how they implement it into their stuff. Let's look at some of this other stuff from... Actually, there's a couple things that came out even before Comic-Con. For example, you know how LeBron James is always getting coaches fired?
Right.
Here's the same thing with directors.
Really?
Yeah, the director of Space Jam 2 left the movie. Over basically what boils down to creative differences, which is just the most ridiculous and funny thing. The fact that the dude directing Space Jam 2 quit and LeBron was always getting coaches fired. It's just such a silly idea. You know Don Cheadle's going to be in that? Boom, I'm here. You're welcome.
Is he going to be the fucking Bill Murray character?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe.
That'd be solid.
You mean the guy that LeBron goes golfing with in the movie? That would make a lot of sense, honestly. LeBron golfing with Don Cheadle. Makes sense. I don't know if you saw this. Lashana Lynch, who played, I forget the character's name, the friend in Captain Marvel. I believe it's the same. Let me make sure. Remember who I'm talking about?
No.
Freaking, yes you do.
If I saw her face, maybe.
She was Captain Marvel's friend, the other pilot girl, yeah.
Yeah.
She's going to be in the new James Bond movie.
Okay.
And she apparently is going to be 007.
Okay, so she's not...
I think, so it's kind of interesting because, like, this announcement came out. And, like, you know, like Black Twitter, they went nuts. They were, like, hype as shit. They were like, oh, my God, we got fucking a black female 007. It's hype as shit. But I was like, wait, but it's still a James Bond movie starring Daniel Craig. So what I think is going to happen is the beginning of the movie, he's retired, and there's a new 007, and it's her, and I think something's going to happen to her.
Okay.
That's my guess.
So it's not like you have, like, a black James Bond. It's...
Not yet.
Yeah.
But... Yeah, I
We'll
don't know what her name is going to be, but she is Agent 007. Gotcha. That's the announcement they made. Maybe her name is Jane Bond. I don't know how it works. But yeah, kind of fun. Fun little that just that in and of itself, starting a movie with like a retired James Bond could be cool. An interesting take.
That and what a way to fucking utilize fucking Daniel Craig just phoning it in, you know? Make him be a retired person.
Listen, that dude has given his body to this franchise. Like,
yeah, you could tell.
He fucking hates them. He hates making these movies now. But you know what? He's made some really good ones. Yo, have you seen the cast for this, for Bond 25?
No.
Obviously Daniel Craig. Rami Malek. Cool.
Yeah.
I think he's the villain.
Yeah.
Christoph Waltz returning. Love that dude.
Okay.
Ana de Armas.
Ooh, I like her. Okay.
Now, like, Leah Seydoux, who looks familiar to me.
Leah Seydoux. Oh, it's
Blue is the warmest
Blue
color.
Warmest
oh, yeah. She was already in Spectre. Okay.
Beauty and the Beast as well.
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast.
Ben Whishaw, Ray Fiennes, all coming back.
Really prominent.
Billy
French
Magnuson.
actors,
Why do I know this guy?
Who?
Billy Magnuson. Oh, he was in Into the Woods. Oh, he was Prince Anders in Aladdin.
I heard somebody.
He was the goofy prince in Aladdin. He's going to be in this.
I heard somebody bring up Ana de Armas for Catwoman, I think.
Asa Gonzalez or her would both work.
Yeah.
Return of Naomi Harris. Jeffrey Wright. There he is again. Oh my God, that's right. He was in Casino Royale. He's really good in Casino Royale.
I don't remember that.
He's the American agent in Casino Royale.
A lot of the Daniel Craig movies like kind of like blend together.
Dude, Casino Royale is so fucking good. Ooh. There it is. Lashana Lynch. She's just credited as Nomi. So, I don't know. That's a good cast, though. You know who's directing it?
Who?
Carrie. Joji.
Fukunaga. Nice.
That dude. Listen, Daniel Craig, I know it's brutal. I know you're tired of eating salmon and grilled chicken. I know you're tired of your body breaking down on you, but just get through one more. I'm sure it'll be great. And then you can rest, and it'll be good. And then we can let Richard Madden do it, or somebody else. I think Richard Madden would work really well, though. Because, like, I was on, and I remain on, the Idris Elba train. I think Idris Elba would be a great James Bond. He just seems a little too old to jump in now. Yeah, exactly. But that boy Richard Madden, that boy's in his prime. Mm-hmm. He's ready to go. All right.
Fukunaga, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
That's fun. All right, here's another one that came out before. This was just some news I saw that I thought was interesting. They're making a Barbie movie.
Kerry Joji Fukunaga, by the way, is the guy that directed the first season of True Detective, as well as Sin Nombre and, was it Beasts of No Nation?
Oh, I didn't know he did Beasts of No Nation. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay, they're making a Barbie movie. Kind of weird, right?
Strange.
Kind of weird idea. But they cast Margot Robbie to play Barbie. Perfect.
Why wouldn't you?
Who's like the most perfect looking person you can think of? Found her. But here's what was interesting about it. The announcement that I saw. Greta Gerwig.
Greta Gerwig's directing it. No way.
Greta Gerwig is directing it.
That's really interesting.
That's gonna be fun.
Yo.
You know she's gonna subvert that shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She's gonna fucking switch that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Directed by Greta Gerwig, written by Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach, who
damn it.
Did
that was a roller coaster of emotions that you just put me on.
Did Frances Ha with her. He wrote The Life Aquatic. You're not a fan?
So I'm not. Maybe if it's not directed by Noah Baumbach.
No, it's directed by Greta Gerwig.
Exactly. So like maybe
Co-written
I'll be
by
fine with
Noah
it.
Baumbach.
Like the way that Noah Baumbach directs his dialogue, it kind of bothers me. Like I was really excited about Frances Ha. I'm a big Greta Gerwig fan, and then I watched Frances Ha, and like Noah Baumbach's. I've seen 2 of his movies. I've seen Frances Ha as well as the one with Dustin Hoffman and Adam Sandler. I think that he made. I think it was
the Meyerowitz stories.
I think that was Noah Baumbach.
I didn't know that.
But it's a super, really, it's just not authentic. It's not an authentic way of delivering dialogue that like, it doesn't sing well in my ear. It's not.
Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay.
Yeah.
The Meyerowitz stories, new and selected.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of his.
I didn't know that he directed that.
I'm not a huge fan of his.
But Greta Gerwig
directed. But if Greta Gerwig's directing it, and he seems like someone who could write dialogue really well, it's just like the way that the lines seem to be delivered. It just doesn't. It's like, is there like a certain instrument that you hear and you're like, I don't like that instrument?
Yeah, bagpipes.
It's kind of like maybe it's like my bagpipes.
I hate
maybe.
bagpipes.
Like it just doesn't sit well with me. Like I feel like everything's like really robotic in his movies.
Okay, interesting.
Specifically with how dialogue is delivered. But if you're gonna fucking have someone direct it, goddamn,
Greta Gerwig's like the perfect
Barbie movie.
So I'll read you the synopsis they have right now. It says, a doll living in Barbie Land is expelled for not being perfect enough and sets off on an adventure in the real world. A live-action feature film based on the popular line of Barbie toys. Now, how Margot Robbie wasn't perfect enough. It's a tough look. Tough look, Barbie Land. I don't know what your expectations are there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can definitely see Greta Gerwig really twisting that and making it an interesting movie. Okay.
Yeah. Super interesting.
So you watched a bunch of trailers.
A whole lot.
Before we started. I'm just going to go backwards here on the order.
Good.
So the Red Sea Diving Resort. Netflix movie comes out in a couple weeks. Meh. And then keep in mind, I wrote that down on like Monday before I realized all of this stuff was coming. Chris Evans movie. Could be good. It's got fake Jennifer Lawrence in it.
The dude from The Wire.
The Wire. Yep.
Something.
Michael K. Williams.
Michael K. Williams.
Yes. Doing an African accent. Mm. Yep. Chris Evans looking good though. This is hair and beard Chris Evans. Keep it. This is like peak sex symbol Chris Evans. Okay. What do you think of the second Ad Astra trailer?
Way better than the first one, right?
Dude. Made me like, I was already like, this could be cool. Now I'm like, hell yeah. Right. How'd you like that Max Richter score?
Obviously, we've talked about Max Richter before, right?
I think so.
Have I shouted out Max Richter in this podcast?
He did the soundtrack for Arrival.
No, wait, hold on. No, not true. That was Johan Johansson.
What am I thinking of? Why does he have Arrival on his IMDb?
Okay, so he did. All right, so he didn't do the score for Arrival. One of his songs was in Arrival.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
yeah.
I was whatever the word is.
No,
something.
No, because I remember when I was watching Arrival.
Okay, what is the score he's known for then?
So he's done a lot.
He's Time, right? Or whatever it's called, the Time stuff. What? Do I have the wrong person in my brain?
Maybe. Okay, so the reason I like Max Richter, so he's done a lot of like smaller movies. I'm not sure like what big stuff that he's done, but I like a lot of his like sort of solo work, like stuff that's like not really attached to movies. I listened to, so he did this entire album. It was like an 8-hour album.
That's what I'm talking about. Sleep. That's what it was. Not Time. Mm-hmm. Sleep.
Yeah, that was called Sleep.
He did Shutter Island soundtrack, composer of The Leftovers. Some other stuff. Okay. I knew him somehow.
Yeah.
When I went through his IMDb, I saw Arrival and I figured that's how I knew him.
Yeah, but Sleep was, it's basically an 8-hour album that you're supposed to listen to while you sleep.
I think you have shouted that out.
So it's a really weird sort of like experimental idea, but the soundtrack itself is so fucking good. It's so fucking But like I originally I think started listening to it through Spotify, and I just thought that it was like an hour-long album because it was called From
There's
Sleep.
a small version of it, right?
From Sleep. And then I looked it up, and then like I found out that he did this 8-hour album, and then he fucking performed it, or with a whole orchestra and shit for like 8 hours for
That's
like
crazy.
Somewhere in England, I think. And I was like, this is insane. Then I like looked it up on iTunes, and it was available for like $30, and I was like, fuck yeah, give it to me. But I listened to that entire album throughout the course of writing Lunatic Fringe.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, like I was already a fan of him even before I had Sleep had even come out.
Gotcha.
He has a song called November that's also like really cool. That
So, yeah,
I found on like Pandora or something.
I saw that he was doing the soundtrack for that, and I was like, oh,
Mhm.
Chris is going to be super interested in
Yeah.
that fact. But the second trailer, just in and of itself for Ad Astra, just
way more
looks way
visually
more interesting. And there's like little small sci-fi things that are really interesting. Like looks like there's like a city on the moon, a bunch of weird stuff. Yeah, made me way more interested. Should I know that director? Is it James Gray? I think his name is. Let me make sure. Yeah, James Gray. The Immigrant, The Lost City of Z, Two Lover. Yeah, I don't really. I've heard of Lost City of Z, but yeah, I don't know. But the second trailer looked really good. All right, you're gonna know more about this one than me. Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think?
How many Kevin Smith movies have you seen?
I don't think any.
You don't think you've seen any Kevin Smith movies?
I've seen all of the episodes, maybe not all of them, but I've seen several of the episodes of the Arrowverse that he's directed.
All right, so Kevin Smith, writer, director, and like
Comedian?
I mean,
Internet host?
he's not like a stand-up
Dude who
comedian,
lost
but
a bunch of weight?
he's not like a stand-up comedian, but he does like Q&As, where he'll like just kind of like come up and tell stories and
Podcaster.
stuff. And he's obviously
Podcaster.
He's a really funny guy. Yeah, he's
Fat man
for
on
sure
Batman.
podcaster.
No longer fat
But,
man. Good for you, Kevin Smith.
Fucking came onto the scene with Clerks. That was like probably his biggest movie. But like he had that, Clerks 2, obviously, Mallrats,
Jay and
Chasing
Silent Bob.
Amy, Jay and Silent Bob.
Recently, Tusk.
Yeah, Tusk
With Justin Long.
was a recent movie. Red State is another one. Red State is very.
He makes weird stuff.
Red State is like him making a Quentin Tarantino movie. That's the easiest way that I can describe that movie. But for the most part, he makes like sort of really grounded kind of like buddy comedies. I would say. Clerks is by far like critically the best. It's my favorite of his. But Jay and Silent Bob characters, he plays Silent Bob in the movies, and him and Jason Mewes, his friend, plays Jay. But yeah, they're just like fucking stoner buddies that fucking like originally would hang around the convenience store in Clerks and fucking.
Okay, so they were characters in Clerks
and
that he then gave their own movie to.
Yeah, exactly. But he's been like, they've been in multiple movies that he's done, like just
Okay, they showed
characters.
up in an episode of The Flash.
Yeah.
Jay and Silent
Oh, really?
Bob. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
they were like moving men or something like that. So what is the whole thing with? It seemed like there's a lot of meta stuff in the show that I just don't get because I haven't seen their stuff.
Yes.
Like they're talking about were they making a joke about how bad Batman v Superman is, or one of their own movies?
So all right, so Kevin Smith obviously like is someone who's just very steeped in pop culture and comic book shit, right?
Yeah.
Because you know who Kevin.
That's
Smith
how I
is.
know him.
Yeah, exactly. Like his movies are very much like there's a scene in Clerks where like they talk about the people that work on the Death Star. Like if you're like a contractor working on the Death Star, it kind of sucks that like if you were working on it and it got blew up and shit. But yeah, there's like an entire conversation, and there's like a lot of conversations throughout all of Kevin Smith's shit that's just about pop culture. There's a whole thing in Clerks 2 about Lord of the Rings. But yeah, so like, and there's a lot of like meta shit that they do. I'm pretty sure in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, at the end of the movie, they have like some kind of Star Wars parody. Like they stumble onto the scene of some kind of Star Wars parody movie.
Okay.
And Mark Hamill, the guy who plays Luke Skywalker, is in it. And there's like some like weird like action sequence where like they have like a pseudo lightsaber battle with Mark Hamill. So yeah, like it's very self-referential.
So the joke in the trailer where they're talking about that movie is what's the line that Craig Robinson is playing a judge. That movie is
sucks balls
and asshole. They're are they talking about a movie that they made themselves, or are they talking about Batman vs Superman? Because they're looking at a movie that like the cover is like basically the same, but it's not.
No, I think that it's within their world. There's like a comic book that came out about them, and they're basically like vigilante superheroes.
About Jay and Silent Bob.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what's the deal with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck?
Matt Damon. Okay, so another one that Kevin Smith has written and directed that I didn't bring up was Dogma. So, but they've also been in multiple movies, but I'm not sure which characters they're playing. If they're like reprising older roles, because I'm pretty sure Ben Affleck was in Chasing Amy as well as fucking Mallrats. As different characters as well. So I don't know what the deal is there, but in Dogma, they played angels that were
Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Weird.
Dogma is really strange.
I've heard that a lot of stuff Kevin Smith makes is like weird. He makes really weird stuff.
I mean, yeah, like he makes his own, like he walks his own path.
Yeah.
Like
it's like Kevin Smith stuff is not for everybody.
No, but like the plot of Dogma is basically like it's super religious and like but like subversively so kind of, but it's still funny. It doesn't have that like Red State is like completely like him playing it straight. He's gonna make like an action thriller. It's like a genre film.
Okay.
But Dogma is like very religious. Fucking Matt Damon and Ben Affleck play basically like scorned angels that are trying to get back at God. And I think Linda Fiorentino is basically like the what's the word? She's the descendant of Jesus.
Okay. Oh man, Jesus had a baby?
Chris Rock is in it. Selma Hayek is in it.
Yo, did you know Chris Rock's starring in the new season of Fargo?
Huh. Interesting.
It's interesting, right?
Fargo's pretty good. I've seen the first episode of the
I've heard it's
season.
great. I've never even seen the movie. Okay.
Martin Freeman kills it.
What did you think of perhaps the most important trailer that came out of Comic-Con?
What's that?
Top Gun Maverick.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. How many times have you seen Top Gun?
Not very many.
Really?
My mom loves Top Gun.
I've seen Top Gun a shit ton of times.
Yeah?
It's one of those like weird movies that I've seen just a bunch of times.
It's weird.
Like Dirty Dancing.
My mom
Dirty
loves
Dancing
Top Gun. And growing up, like you would hear the pop culture joke of what shirtless volleyballs, the jokes about it. And I would always be like, I haven't seen it. And my mom would always be like, you haven't seen Top Gun? We have to. And then eventually they bought it and we watched it. I liked it. It's a good movie.
It's really fun.
This movie looks fucking cool. Just like the shots of the flying and stuff.
It's visually a little bit different. Like it doesn't look as 80s.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There is some shirtless volleyball though.
Oh yeah, there for sure is. And like they brought back a little bit of that score. Apparently fucking Kenny Loggins is
he's doing a song or something.
Well, so he originally did fucking Danger Zone, Highway to the Danger Zone. Yeah, but there's a lot of classic scenes from the original Top Gun that have just like infused themselves into it's almost like Die Hard as far as like how like integrated it is in like other areas of pop culture. Like there's a recurring joke on Archer of like him going, "Hey, Lana, Danger Zone." But like it's a staple of American culture. Yeah. But it's super super fucking fun. And this movie, fucking who's directing it? Can you pull that up?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Yes, please. And it looks visually a little bit different. Who did?
He made Tron Legacy.
Yeah. Tron and the other Tom Cruise movie. Oblivion. Yeah. Which apparently was pretty good. I guess people like that.
So the cast for this movie is fucking dope.
Oh yeah.
And like, so Jennifer Connelly is back right?
Mm-hmm.
Tom Cruise back as Maverick. John Hamm, who gets that one sort of like the shot in the trailer that basically is like, hey, John Hamm's in this movie. Val Kilmer returning. Ed Harris, who's pretty heavily featured in the trailer. The thing that makes me the most excited for this movie and who's in one like half second of the trailer, who we mentioned before, my boy, Miles Teller.
Mm-hmm.
Who I believe is rumored to be Goose's son or something.
Okay, so
I think
I saw a couple things. There's a couple things on IMDb that I found
his
interesting.
name is Bradley Bradshaw.
There's a few characters on there that aren't credited.
There's a lot.
Or that don't have names.
Yeah.
Right? Which I found interesting that they're leaving that out because there's some that are new like
Jennifer Connelly has no name. John Hamm has no name. Ed Harris has no name. Glenn Powell has no name. And then there's a bunch of like other people who I don't recognize.
There's also like a thing on IMDb of the character listings.
Mm-hmm.
And I read through some of the listings and it looks like really fun.
Yeah.
There's two dudes on there called like Harvard and Yale, and apparently they're supposed to like play like twins or brothers.
Mm-hmm.
There were references like one of the Hispanic characters. I forgot the actress that's gonna play her, but and then it goes. But like there's probably gonna be a couple. You know, I would say at least one character that is like the son or daughter of of a previous character. Right?
I'm pretty sure Miles Teller is Goose's
son, which is really fucking cool.
Yeah. Goose played by who originally?
I couldn't tell you the actor's name.
Hold on.
His wife is Meg Ryan,
who isn't listed. Meg Ryan is not listed.
What has Meg?
But I feel like Meg Ryan's going to show up.
What has Meg Ryan done?
I have no idea.
In the past like 15 years.
I have no idea.
She's not dead, right? We're not like disrespecting her.
Anthony Edwards is the guy that played Goose. Where are you at, Meg Ryan? Does Meg Ryan have like a small role in the original Top Gun?
She's Goose's wife.
Yeah.
You see her in like 2 scenes.
What has she done in the last 15 years? She did something called Ithaca in 2015. Oh yeah, she's not been doing much at all, dude. She was in one episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm as herself.
She was like, I'm a 90s queen. I'm out.
Basically. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Holy shit.
She was at the fucking top, dude.
Yeah.
She was an
She's running
A-list
the
actress.
game. I'm surprised that she hasn't showed up in like some sort of weird like like how like John Wesley Shipp is in The Flash. Some kind of weird, nostalgia driven stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised. But yeah, like I feel like there's a chance Meg Ryan would show up in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, so fucking Kenny Loggins is apparently like completely redoing Danger Zone, and he wants to like pair up with like a young
rapper, right?
Well, no, I don't think a rapper. I think rock star, rock star. Somebody brought up
who's a young rock star? Like I don't even know what that means anymore.
So someone brought up like the Foo Fighters, like that could be
really
cool.
That could be interesting.
That could be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about your boy Jack White?
Huh?
Your boy Jack White.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Uh-huh.
That could be cool. Yeah, but like I got so fucking hyped watching that trailer.
Yeah,
I
very cool.
I smiled a lot.
Yeah, me too. And like I don't really know Top Gun super well,
yeah.
but just there's stuff that's so iconic that you don't even have to have seen Top Gun to know it's Top Gun. You know what I mean? Like the motorcycle chasing the plane, his fucking jacket, like just certain things that are just
homoerotic volleyball.
Yo, yeah. Apparently Tom Cruise does all of the flying scenes himself, which has zero level of surprise, but is just like so insane. Whenever you see Tom,
he's not flying
whenever you see,
jet,
I'm
right?
pretty sure he actually flew a jet.
He actually is flying a jet.
I think so.
Really?
I think so.
Really?
If there's anyone who's going to do it, it's him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? All right. What did you think of The King's Man?
Yeah, it seems fine.
Like, are you not a big Kingsman fan?
I like it.
Love those movies.
I enjoy them.
I love those movies. Big fan. The first one I think is amazing. The second one, a lot of people didn't like the second one. I really enjoyed it. I didn't really know why so many people weren't really into it.
I like them.
I really enjoyed it. I really like those movies.
I like them. I'm not like super on board like I love them.
They're not
I like them.
or they're making like a bunch of them now. So this is like a spin-off starring Ralph Fiennes and let me pull it up so I get everybody. I don't know who the kid is. The King's Man. Gemma Arterton is in it. Matthew Good. Aaron Taylor Johnson, who I don't think is in the trailer.
No, I don't remember seeing him. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like Aaron Taylor Johnson.
I like him a lot. Jimon Hounsou, who is doing his best Killmonger impression in this movie. He's got the marks on him and everything. Rhys Ifans, who I'm pretty sure is the dude with the beard and stuff. Daniel fucking Bruhl. Stanley Tucci.
That's cool.
Charles Dance. Charles Dance is Arthur, who is like Michael Caine in the Kingsman movie. He's like the leader of the Kingsmen. That's hype. And the kid's name is Harris Dickinson, and I don't know who he is. He was in Beach Rats, Trust, and Maleficent. Oh, is this the new Maleficent? He's going to be in the new Maleficent as Prince Philip. Hey, that was She Would Tell RG4 at the end of the trailer when we saw it. Remember we saw the new Maleficent, so it's like the second Maleficent trailer. It played before Lion King when we saw it.
Just because he got horns, you don't recognize him?
Well, he's got long hair and stuff. And I was like, is that She Would Tell? And he was so quick. Like, I thought it was him, but I wasn't 100% positive. Putting him in it makes me like, hey, I might watch that. Just because he's in it. I think he's so good.
Well, the visuals also look pretty.
It does look very pretty.
Looks really cool.
But yeah. This The King's Man is about the origin of the Kingsmen, the organization. But I know that they are also currently making Kingsman 3 with Taron Egerton. So that's fun. I love Taron Egerton. I love Eggsy. How about Watchmen? You love the comic.
Yeah.
Huge fan of the comic.
Yeah.
Movie?
I like the movie. It's super enjoyable. Like as much shit as I talk about Watchmen and as much shit as I talk about Zack Snyder, like fucking when Watchmen was on the ship, you know, like, and they were playing it in berthing, like I would sit down and fucking watch it and really enjoy it. Like I like a lot of parts of Watchmen. And I think that there's a lot of Watchmen that I think that Zack Snyder actually achieved really well, like his intentions as far as being like, you know, this, like, you should read the comic, but allow your experience of the comic to sort of be colored by the movie, you know? So like when you're watching,
I feel like Watchmen
Manhattan blow up or something like that.
I feel like Watchmen and Zack Snyder's ideals overlap more than his ideals align with like Superman, right? His sort of obsession with using superheroes as this godlike figure thing. Like with Dr. Manhattan, it works way better than when he tries to do it with Superman.
He also gave himself over. Like I think that his ego was more separated from the work
from
itself,
Watchmen,
in regards to Watchmen than it has in other works.
Okay, that's interesting.
Just because like he was very much like, we're going to, like they're just
we're going to be very adherent to the story.
Visually, at least, it's like very similar.
Yeah.
To the not even similar. It's like
I don't know enough about Watchmen to like know what this new story is about, really. I mean, it seems to have a pretty sort of generic theme of is vigilantism right or wrong?
The weird thing about Watchmen is that there's a lot of non-Alan Moore Watchmen shit out there. That
this I'm pretty sure is based off the Doomsday Clock storyline that came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I'll say the trailer has really cool costume design. There's some really cool.
It looks really cool visually.
Yeah, the silver mask guy looks awesome. Mm-hmm. There's some really cool. Any excuse to have more Yahya Abdul-Mateen, that dude's great. Any reason to see Jeremy Irons as Ozymandias? That's an amazing casting choice. There's some interesting stuff that I'll check out Watchmen.
But
for sure.
This is going to be like, I'm interested in sort of the timeline of things. Neither of us are really know the source material that they're basing this off of. Like not like I know the original Watchmen, but I mean Ozymandias is in the original Watchmen, but he's much younger.
He's younger, yeah.
But like there's shots of like that are in this trailer of like there's like a Richard Nixon statue in it that I'm like, okay, so are they going to go back and forth kind of like they did with the movie as well as the original Watchmen storyline?
Interesting.
So I'm slightly interested in it. Let it come out, see what the reviews are. I mean, it's HBO.
HBO, dog.
So
What's the
maybe
other?
should-
Oh, I forgot to put it on the list. They released a full trailer for that other HBO show that's coming out, based on the book series, His Darkest Materials.
Yeah, I didn't
Or
watch
His
the trailer
Dark
for it.
Materials. I watched that trailer. It looked cool.
I saw a polar bear.
Yeah, dude. There's a polar bear. Apparently, that polar bear talks, like with a human voice.
Oh wow.
Apparently, from what I don't know anything about those books. I've never read them, never really heard of them. I do know that the girl who played X-23 in Logan is in it, so that's hype.
That is cool.
That's
She's
cool.
Spanish, right?
Yes, I believe so. Or she spoke a lot of Spanish in Logan, at least. The freaking James McAvoy is in it. What is her name? Ruth Wilson. I don't know how much you know about Ruth Wilson. She looks like she's the villain. She's in Luther, and she's incredible in Luther. She's terrifying. She's a great actress.
I don't know if I know who she is.
Lin-Manuel Miranda's in it. Love that dude. Now, I've seen a lot of takes that like people are like, the one problem I have is that I don't know if I can see Lin-Manuel as this character, but I don't know jack about the character he's playing. So I'm just like, cool, Lin-Manuel Miranda. But it seems it seems really fun to me. It seems like there's a lot of like interesting like connections to animals and stuff. Like the girl has like a weasel thing with her, and Ruth Wilson has like a monkey, and the monkey like attacks the weasel, and she feels its pain. There's like interesting ideas that I'm very interested in seeing it when it comes out. Just checking it out just to see what it's like.
Yeah.
Even though I don't really know anything.
I don't know
about
shit about it.
Yeah. And the polar bear looks dope. He looks cool. He's wearing armor. He's growling, doing his thing. All right, this is the last Comic-Con one that I have left. Again, I might have missed stuff, but I'm super excited about this one. The Witcher. Henry Cavill's The Witcher trailer came out.
You know way more about.
So
Witcher
here's
than
the
I do.
thing. I know way more about Witcher than you, but I don't really know much
You're
about
right.
Witcher because I'm playing Witcher 3 right now, and it's the only thing about Witcher that I know. Witcher is based on a book series. The video games are based on a series of books.
That's one thing that kind of surprised me. I didn't know that.
So like it's hysterical to see as all the set photos have been coming out and now the trailer has come out, like people on the internet you see like complaining and they're like, why doesn't Geralt have two swords? Why is his medallion different? Blah, blah, like just weird things they're complaining about. And then it's always like somebody like in the books he only carries one sword on him. In the books this, in the books, and they're basing it off the books, not off the video games, which is probably, I would argue, probably the right decision. Adapting video games, one, has almost never worked out. And two, like at least The Witcher 3 is so long and there's so much in it that you could not make you definitely couldn't make a movie, but even making a TV show out of it would be really difficult.
But the problem is that like no movies based on books have ever been good.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Not even
it's
one.
it's a double-edged sword, right?
Not even like the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah. Nothing good is ever based off of a novel.
Godfather.
That's a fact that I feel like a lot of people don't know that.
What?
That Godfather is based off a book.
Yeah.
I feel like
You know who wrote it?
No.
Wrote the book? Mario Puzo.
If you gave me 5 guesses to guess the first name of the person who wrote The Godfather,
You'd probably say Mario.
I probably would have said Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have got there
Like
eventually.
Vinny.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, the Witcher trailer, it looked like the visuals of it look great. The costume designs, the way the eyes work for like his eyes and Yennefer's eyes, her purple. Oh, dude, I didn't know. So like Yennefer in Witcher 3 is like she's Yennefer. She's a witch and she's fucking gorgeous and shit. And her and Geralt are always fucking. She's
And that's how
like,
you pronounce it.
Geralt.
I've only read it.
Read it? Yeah,
so
it's
I thought it was
Geralt.
Geralt.
Oh, GIF. Yeah, it's Geralt.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting to see that she's like malformed and then she makes herself super hot. Yeah, I'm really excited to see it because like as much of Witcher 3 as I've gotten through, the world is fascinating. Like it's so interesting. It's such a good fantasy world, and they're going to be able to, I think, to do a lot of exploring in it with the show. And I know how passionate Henry Cavill is about it, which is really awesome. He's apparently a huge fan of the books and was super excited about doing this. He looks great. He looks really great as Geralt.
Very hot.
Very hot. Jacked AF. That like it's weird how you can forget how jacked Henry Cavill is, right? Because he's jacked.
Superman.
He's jacked in everything. He literally reloads his arms in Mission. Have you seen that? Have you watched the new Mission Impossible movie?
No.
Okay. There's a scene when they're fighting in the bathroom. Him and Tom Cruise are fighting.
And then he goes like this.
He goes like
I've seen
this.
the trailer for it.
No, dude, that actually happens in the movie too. It's not just a weird trailer editing. He goes like this, and they put a sound effect to it. It's like dunk dunk, like he's reloading his arms. It's fucking amazing. That movie's awesome. That movie's wild and crazy and fun. Yeah, but yeah, I think Henry Cavill is going to be a really good Geralt. It's going to be fun. I'm really interested to see. Also, like the little I've gotten again of the story, I'm so interested in seeing them deal with Geralt and Ciri's relationship. The little girl, he becomes like her like father figure. It's very interesting.
I could be your father figure. Let me,
dude.
Put your
One of the funniest
eye.
New Girl scenes ever.
Yeah, for sure.
Ron Funches.
Mm-hmm. Ron Funches before Ron Funches when it was Ron Funches.
Yeah, and before he lost a bunch of weight.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you, Ron Funches. All right. I think that covers all of the Comic-Con news I can find.
Yeah.
The Emmy nominations came out this week too. Did you know that?
I don't really care at all, really.
I do because Barry got nominated a lot.
That's
and
cool.
I want Barry to win.
That's cool.
Bill Hader got nominated as a director and as a writer and as an actor.
Oh shit.
That boy doing work.
Yo, fucking give me some Bill Hader shit. Like directed stuff. Like I want to
Go
see
watch
him, like,
Barry,
yeah.
dude. The episode Ronnie/Lily.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking god levels. So good.
But it's also not like he directs the whole show. You know what I mean? Like I want to see like an entire fucking like Bill Hader directed movie, you know, even if he's not in it.
Yeah. I did have an interesting thought from the Emmys though. Game of Thrones got nominated for so much stuff, and I think it's interesting. The new season of Game of Thrones is like comically reviled by people, like to an absurd point.
Yeah.
The new season, I enjoyed the final season of Game of Thrones. There are things that I didn't like about it and things that I didn't think were executed well. But overall, I enjoyed it. Same?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. I thought it was interesting that the amount of public backlash that Game of Thrones got, and the Emmys were just like, yeah, we don't care.
Mm-hmm.
All the awards. The thing I found the most interesting about it, I went through and looked at like who was nominated for everything and which episodes they were nominated
Yeah,
for.
because that's what the Emmys are like, right? Like
Yeah,
it's for specific episodes. It's really strange.
It's really weird. And yeah, so like the show sends in certain episodes. Like, so 3 directors got nominated for Game of Thrones for Best Directing for 3 different episodes. I was very surprised that episode 2, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, was not nominated for any of that stuff. Because I thought, and I think sort of universally thought, that was the best episode of the season.
I don't even remember that.
It's the one where
episode.
Brienne gets knighted.
Okay.
Yeah. Before the Battle of Winterfell.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. That was a cool episode.
Bruh.
It was a cool episode.
That episode was amazing. The only person who got nominated for that episode was Gwendolyn Christie,
Who plays
Brienne of Tarth,
Mm-hmm.
and she had to put in her own nomination. They didn't put her up for it, which apparently happened to a few of their actors. Alfie Allen also put himself in for his role as Theon in one of the episodes. So like, it's just kind of interesting to see the way that like, I don't know, the Emmys are weird because a lot of times the Emmys are like, they're not Grammys bad. You know what I mean? They're not like, the Grammys are always a joke, but the Emmys, they carry weight. They've made lots of weird decisions. Like Steve Carell didn't win enough Emmys for playing Michael Scott. Like there's weird stuff in the Emmys, but they carry more weight than the Grammys. Not as much as the Oscars, but they're important. But it was just interesting to see the way those nominations came out. Very interesting. All right. It is super hot in here.
It is very hot. Shout-outs?
Shout-outs. I saw you had one written down. You want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. So my shout-out is like sort of a thing, but also a person. The Eric Andre show / Eric Andre.
Himself. The person.
As a person.
This works because on Thursday we've got a spoiler episode for Lion King. So
exactly. And
Eric Andre's in it.
Plays...
I don't know what they named them. I think they gave them all different names.
I literally just heard him say it, and I can't think of it.
It's not Bonsai, is it?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Aziz Ansari. That's the name. For us, a hobby. I don't know what his name was. But yeah, the Eric Andre show. I do not recommend this for everyone.
It's weird.
It's super weird. But if you are into really like subversive comedy, if you're into like Jiminy Glick or the Tom Green show or just like the comedy of Tom Green, Eric Andre, the way that he apparently he pitched the show, he was like, I want to make the worst talk show ever made. That's how he pitched it.
Don't they like throw things at people
it's a show on Adult Swim that's like it's like super short. I think it's only like 15 to 20 minutes.
I feel like a lot of those adult shows do that. Adult Swim shows do that.
Mm-hmm. But basically, like Eric Andre is a nihilist, and he is someone who like is just very, very, very wacky, like. And he brings on celebrities to his talk show, and it looks like it's a very dingy set. Like there's really like old curtains. It looks like it would be like filmed in someone's basement. But he brings these celebrities onto the show. And basically just tries to like torture them basically throughout the entire talk show. Like he like weirds them out. Like he'll like vomit onto his desk or like be like really fucking like violent and like not to the show the guests, but like he'll try to creep them out and make them really uncomfortable. And it's just sort of disturbing and weird and chaotic and super nihilistic. Like he just doesn't. He likes to have. And this is one thing. Like I was just listening to an interview with him, and he was talking about how like they search for celebrities that probably don't know anything about the show. He wants people that are like very very orderly, and so that he has something to play off of. I actually just watched a thing with Eric Andre where he did like a 30-minute interview with Larry King, and like it was just such a fucking brilliant interview because Larry King is just very much like he's very like tight-laced, you know, like he's just he's
old.
Very old and kind of bland, you know, but he can roll with the interview pretty well because that's what he's done his entire fucking life. But Eric Andre is kind of like fucking with him and sort of derailing the interview a lot throughout the entire time. And like you could tell Larry King is like kind of just like he's just rattling through interview questions so that he can be done with it. And Eric Andre's like, you can't fucking wait for this interview to be done. But they're talking about the show. But Eric Andre is just like a very like subversive comic. He does a lot of on the Eric Andre show. It's not just a talk show. He does a lot of hidden camera pranks as well. So like he records the talk show stuff in LA, and he does all of the hidden camera show pranks in New York because apparently like the laws for hidden camera stuff is like way more. It's not as like strict as in LA. But, it's really funny. It's really nihilistic. It's really fucked up.
It's like, weird.
If you're like into like Tyler, the Creator's music, you'll be into the Eric Andre show. If you have a mental illness, you'll probably be interested, in the Eric Andre show. But that's my shout out.
Eric Andre /show. The person and the show. My shout out is in honor of the forthcoming fourth season, is a show on Netflix called Last Chance U. You ever seen it? You ever heard of it? You know what it is?
I know. I've heard of it.
It's fucking good. Last Chance U is a show about basically the fucking bullshit of junior college football. It's insane. It's fucking crazy. They're on their second school now, but they go to junior colleges who basically take in players from the NCAA who have gotten suspended or kicked off their teams or arrested, a bunch of crazy shit, and they're basically there to be a one-year stopgap to get these dudes turned around, get their grades up, and get them back into NCAA football. And it's brutal and wild and crazy, and the coaches are insane egomaniacs, and the players have really fascinating and a lot of times heartbreaking stories. I remember the last season there was a running back who throughout the whole season was like his girlfriend was going to have a baby and his brother had gotten arrested, and he was like, he was like, I'm trying to be a better man, blah, blah, I've got to get back to college so I can get my chance at the NFL, all this stuff. And then you find out afterward that he got arrested, like after this. It's just so heartbreaking for a lot of this. You get really invested in the players. Through the first couple seasons, you become really invested in their guidance counselor. I forget her name, but she became like the star of the show because she just cares so much about the kids. And she wants to help them so much. And then in this new school, they have some other people they've brought in that they show. But I'm excited for the next season to come out. It's always really good. Last Chance U on Netflix. Super good documentary show. So Last Chance U and Eric Andre / show. Him and his show. Those are our shout-outs for the week. We're going to run out of these eventually.
Out of shout-outs?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Yeah, we're going to run out. Sometimes I sit there.
I just came up with like 4 today.
Lucky you.
Sometimes there's just like a windfall of like, oh man, I remember that. That's awesome.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's a lot of. I'm going to start shouting out just random restaurants. And be like, yo, there's a Thai place. It's really good.
You're going to start like shouting out colors.
Blue.
Yeah.
Shout out to Blue.
Yeah.
The color.
Smoky gray. I'm a big fan of that.
Shout out Blue. Not Jay-Z and Beyonce's daughter, but the color. But also their daughter. She seems nice. Is she a baby still? How old is Blue?
She's been a baby
for
8 years.
When was she born? That's what I'm saying. Like how long
She's been
ago?
a baby for 8 years.
Is she 8?
I would probably, yeah.
What?
Time's strange, man.
Dude, that freaks me out. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Mm-hmm. All right, enough of this. Cool. Come back on Thursday. We mentioned it a little earlier. We've got our spoiler episode for Lion King coming out. Look for that. And then come back next week, usual stuff. All that. Bloody, bloody, bloody. Find Chris. ChrisMichaelStott.com. Check out his scripts. Chris Michael Stott on Instagram. Find me, Davinwell25, Twitter and Instagram. Find the show, The Chris and Kyle Show, on Instagram, on Facebook, on all the podcasting platforms, on YouTube. Like, share, rate, review, comment, all that fun stuff. tcaks Pod on Twitter. We will be having a new poll out in a couple weeks after our final episode of this month. So look forward to that, sending us to the movies. Other than that, we out.
We out. Stay weird.